Hey, good day. Paul Sterling here. And for the last 25 years, something has fascinated me. It's relationships. And how do you get the love you want? And by the way, I'm right by the creek where I come occasionally to write. It's a beautiful spot outside. The first book I wrote, called Argue Less, Love More, became a bestseller. And it was really about how do you try to communicate in a way that gets the love you want. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do dogs like bones? Think about it. Now, if you're not a dog owner, you can still think about it. If you gave a dog a choice between a bone and steak, which would they choose? They would choose steak almost every time, but they settle for bones. So what I'm trying to do here is give you an idea of how to stop settling in relationships, and the wind's come up and blowing my papers around. So there's an upcoming workshop coming up called Getting the Love You Want. How do you demystify intimate relationships and understand your ROS, your relationship operating system? So I'm going to dive into that, and when I get back to the office, I will do some fancy editing, I hope. But basically, there's a question going on in there. The question is, creating an extraordinary relationship, is it luck or is it skill? What does it take? Luck or skill, or a combination of the two? And we're going to dive into that. And the other thing that's really important is, are great relationships simple or complex? And the interesting thing about relationships is they tend to, and I have a little chart here. See if I can get that for you. They tend to be more complex than we want them to be, but less complex than we're afraid they are. And nobody's ever explained relationships to you the same way I'm about to. And it's taken me about 25, 30 years of studying with some of the smartest people around on the planet that I know of to really come up with this. In fact, at the workshop, you'll be able to figure out which of the 5 zones that your relationship fits into. And I will give you a picture of that. But are you in the place where it's quit and stay, where you've given up on your needs? Are you in everybody for themselves zones, where you take care of your needs and your partner takes care of theirs? Or are you in the waiting for your turn zone, which is like you contribute to your partner, but hopefully one day it will be your turn? And then there's a partnership zone where you take care of my needs, I take care of your needs, and it's really important that it's fair. And then there's a 5th zone, which is the intimacy-based relationship zone. And I definitely will be going into that in the workshop. And it's really important to know where you are and where you want to go. And something I've come up with, and this is this one right here, which is your ROS, your relationship operating system. And that is your habits, patterns, and beliefs. That's the programming that's basically unconscious, that came from when you were very young. And why relationships are complex is because you don't know that programming. It's almost invisible to you, but it is there. And here's the other thing. You're not in one relationship. If you're living together and have been for a while, you're actually in 3 relationships. You're in a friendship, your friends, partners, and lovers, and each one of those has different skills that you need to master. And I know I'm doing a lot right now, but I don't expect you to get it all. I expect you to be able to see that there is something there. In each of those relationships, there's 3 key factors. You have to be available, capable, and willing. So available, you can be available for friendship and partnership and have old stuff from a love life and not be available to be a lover. So it's available, capable, and willing in all 3 of those areas: friends, partners, lovers. And what are you available to do? It's basically, you need to have 7 core skills. These are like 7, I call them mission critical skills that we're going to go through. And if you nail these, you'll end up getting about 80% of what you need to have an amazing, extraordinary relationship. And to give you an idea, number one on that list is needs. And most people have need shame. In fact, it's considered an insult. You're called, if you talk about your needs, you're considered needy. But yet, what happens to a relationship when your needs stop getting met? Relationship over. So needs is number one. Number two is conflict. Can you resolve conflicts with confidence and compassion and courage? Or does it spiral into a shitstorm and get worse and worse, and issues are never resolved? And what happens when you end up not getting your needs met and there's conflict, you end up with a wound. Have you healed your wounds? Because the more wounded you are, the less available you are for a relationship. So that's three of the seven. The next one is trust. If you're not getting your needs met and there's lots of conflict and you feel very wounded, trust goes way down. And there's two parts of trust. Do I trust you being vulnerable around you? Will you meet my needs? Will you help take care of me? And do I trust myself around you? So those are the two areas of trust. There's more than that. Then the next one is intimacy. And there's three shades of intimacy. There is emotional, physical, sexual intimacy. And it's learning how to be with all three of those. Are you, as I said earlier, available, capable, and willing in all of those? And then the next one is dealing with differences. To expect the difference between the masculine and the feminine. I'm not saying the difference between men and women, but the difference between masculine and feminine sides of our brain and in the relationship. And in the hub of all of this, and I'll show you again, right in the center there is communication. Do you know how to communicate in a way that you can enter each other's world? So please come to the workshop, the Getting the Love You Want workshop, and we will do a deep dive into these, and you will have an idea about your relationship operating system that you never had before. And if you're not available to come to the workshop, which is the next one's in California, but get a hold of me. I work with couples from all around the world over Zoom and over the phone and in person. So thank you very much for watching this video. And if you want more information, arguelesslovemore.net is my website, and you can contact it. There we go, all the way to the end of the video. You can contact me there. Thank you very much. Bye.